Hello guys, how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you very much for stopping by. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please kindly do so. This will really mean a lot to me, as that is the encouragement I get in putting up all these lovely videos. If you are new to my channel, hello, my name is Vivian Bernard and I am the content creator of Vivian Bernard Sewing Tutorial. I upload video every week. Make sure you click on the notification bell so you get notified each time I upload new video. In this tutorial, we'll be learning how to make this beautiful top. It's a princess that top. The underbust is contoured. Make sure you watch till the end so you don't skip any step. Alright? And in the course of watching this tutorial, if you get confused on any part, make sure you drop your questions on the comment section below. I will attend to that. Alright guys, let's get started. So guys, the pattern we'll be using to make this beautiful top is our full scale bodice pattern, okay? And there is a tutorial on my channel on how I explained in details how to draft a full scale bodice, okay? This full scale bodice is the one that has the bust dart, okay, and also a waist dart. So it's very much advisable for you to go check out that video so that you understand how and what we are doing, okay? All right, so this top is a princess dart top, okay, and the underbust is also contoured, okay? Yeah, and the hemline of this top is slight curve, and that is what we are going to be explaining in this pattern, okay? All right, so for us to contour the underbust, if you've watched my video on how to make an off-shoulder top, how to draft a corset, you can easily contour this, okay? But so the formula for underbust contouring is your natural underbust circumference divided by 4 minus pattern underbust, okay? Your natural underbust is your round underbust, okay? Then the pattern underbust is the one that we are going to measure in this pattern, okay? You can see what I'm doing. I'm measuring from the dart leg to the edge of the paper, okay, on the underbust line, okay? I'm measuring what I have from the dart leg to the center front of the paper, to the edge of the paper, okay? So I'm measuring what I have there, excluding the dart, okay? So I'm excluding the darts, and after measuring it to that point, I'm not adding the seam allowance, okay? So what I have was 8 inches, okay? And my underbust circumference is 30 divided by 4. I have 7.5. And what I have as my pattern underbust was 8 inches. So when I remove 7.5 from 8 inches, the excess I have was 0.5, okay? So I'm removing that 0.5, okay, from my underbust line, okay? So I will encourage you to go and watch that video on how to draft a corset so that you understand very well what I'm doing, okay? Yeah. So you should watch my video on how to draft a corset. You should watch my video on how to draft an off-shoulder top. You will get more understanding on how I do the contouring, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is to draw my princess dart, okay? So you are just going to locate the midpoint of your armhole, okay? And you are going to place your curve ruler on that point and on your bust point, okay? And you are going to draw that line, okay? That is your princess dart, okay? And the next thing we are going to do is to come up by 2 inches from the hip line, okay? This will help us draw that beautiful curve at the hem, okay? And on the side seam, I'm coming up by 4 inches. Then I will place my curve ruler like so, and I will draw that beautiful hem line, okay? And yes, that's it about the front side, okay? So for the back is going to be 2 panel, okay? So what I'm going to do is to locate the midpoint of the shoulder, okay? So when I locate the midpoint of the shoulder, I'm going to connect it to that point, okay? to that point where the dart stops. Okay, so if you don't want a line up there, you can simply do your princess dart at the back, but I prefer doing a shoulder dart at the back. Okay, so that line I'm marking is just where the lining is going to stop. Okay, so I want where the lining is going to stop to be at that point. Okay, so from the waistline I'm coming down by 1.5 inches. Okay, that is simply going to be the length of the interlining I'm putting inside. Okay, because the net is quite revealing. Okay, yeah. So after that, I'm going to come up by 4 inches just like I did for the front. Okay, and at the center back I will come up by 2 inches. After marking that, I will get my curve ruler and connect it like so. We notice that the side back and the side front are not equal. Don't worry, they will be equal when I close my bust dart. Okay, so that is why I encourage you to watch that video on how to draft a full scale body so you don't get confused. Okay, yeah. So in order to trace the front is just 2 panel, the center front and the side front, while the back is 2 panel, the center back and the side back. Okay, so in order to trace the center front, okay, you are going to put a paper under, then you get your tracing wheel and you trace those lines I'm showing you for the center front. Okay, you are going to follow the princess dart, follow the armhole, then you will close that opening there. Okay, that opening is just to be able to close the bust dart. Okay, so that is for the center front. Then for the side front, you are going to close the side bust dart. Okay, it's very much important, it's a must. So when you close the side bust dart, you are going to trace like so. You're tracing and you are going to follow the princess dart. Okay, you trace the armhole and the side seam. Okay, that is for the side front. Okay, so this is very simple. And for the back, we have 2 panels. Okay, for the side, you are tracing like so. So when you trace, you are not adding any seam allowance at the side, you are only adding 1/2 inch seam allowance at the inseam, at the shoulder and at the armhole. Okay, so that is for the center back. You are tracing like so, and before you trace the center back, remember to add zip allowance. Okay, yeah. So after tracing, this is what we have. Can you see that? Can you see that I added 1/2 inch seam allowance at the inseam, where I'm going to join back at the shoulder, at the neckline. Okay, so for each of this pattern, I'm cutting out 2 piece each, except the center front. Okay, the center front is going to be on fold. So you can see my sleeve pattern. I also have a tutorial on how to draft a basic sleeve. Okay, so you should consider watching it so that you can get your own pattern. Okay, for sleeve. So this is the material I'm using, the net material and the dotches for the interlining. So you can see these lines I marked is just the length of my interlining. Okay, after using the pattern to cut out the net, I'm just going to fold it to that length so that I can be able to use it to cut the interlining. Okay, so that's the essence of the line. So I'm cutting out my patterns, cutting out my material with my pattern. Okay, so the center front is on fold, so you place your pattern on your material and cut it out like so. So you are cutting the side front 2 piece, then the center front unfold. Okay, so I'm also cutting out the sleeve. So I have a well detailed tutorial on how to draft a sleeve pattern, okay? So you should consider watching it so that you understand how to draft a sleeve pattern. So after cutting it out, this is it. So I'm going to go ahead and notch those points where the interlining will be before removing my patterns, okay? This just for me to be able to place it right at that point where I want it to be, okay? So I notch those points before removing my patterns. It's very important. So I'm going to remove my pattern and set the cutout material aside so that I can cut the interlining. So guys, like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel. This will really mean a lot to me, okay? So before I'm going to use this pattern to cut my interlining, I'm just going to fold it, okay? Because I don't want to cut this pattern, I'm just going to fold it up to the size I want the interlining to be, okay? If you want to cut yours, you can go ahead, but I don't like cutting patterns because it's going to be very important to me in the future, or maybe if I want to make this dress for someone of the same size, I can easily use my pattern, okay? That is why I don't like cutting out this pattern. So I'm just folding it up to the length of how I want the interlining to be. It's very easy as that, okay? I hope you understand this simple technique. Yeah, so I'll also fold the back like so. I'm just folding it up to the length because I don't want a full interlining. I just want it short. That is why I'm folding it like so. So you can see those lines I marked. I'm just folding my pattern, okay? So after folding it, this is how it looks. I'm going to place it on my Duchess material and cut out. So the center front will also be on fold. I'll cut the rest, and this is it, okay? Two piece each. The center front is cut on fold, okay? So I'll set this aside and I will bring back my material, okay? I'll make sure that the wrong side is facing up so that I can place the interlining on it, okay? So the right side of the interlining facing the wrong side of the net, okay? It's as simple as that. So I'm going to remove those patterns and I will place it like so. So I'm going to identify those places I notch and make sure that I place it accordingly, okay? So after placing it, I will use my pin to hold it, okay? And then I will go and hold it together on my sewing machine, okay? That is basically it. So I'm just going to go to my sewing machine and run a straight stitch at each side of the material just to hold down the interlining, okay? So I'll set this aside and I will do the same thing for the front. So I'll make sure that the wrong side is facing up, okay? I'll make sure that the wrong side is facing up so that I can place the right side of the interlining on the wrong side, okay? So I'll make sure that I'm placing the interlining at that point where I notch. So I'll make sure that it's where I want it to stay, okay? So I'll do the same thing for the other side, okay? So I'll make sure that the right side of the interlining is facing the wrong side, okay? I'll use my pin to hold it and I will go sew it down. So this is how it looks after sewing it down. Okay, I'm just going to pin it side by side. So I'll make sure that that point where the interlining stay is rhyming up, okay? Because you will not want to have an unequal interlining showing up. That will be unprofessional. Okay, I'll pin up both sides, okay? After pinning it up, I will go to my sewing machine and sew it down. So I'll basically do the same thing for the back, okay? So while pinning, I'll make sure that those points where the interlining stay are rhyming, okay? Because you won't want to have an unequal interlining showing when you wear your clothes, okay? So that is it. So after pinning it up, I'll go to my sewing machine and sew it. So after sewing it, this is what I have, the front and the back, okay? So I'm just going to place the back on the front side by side, and I'll go to my sewing machine and sew it down by 1 inch. I'll also sew the shoulder with 1/2 inch, okay? So I'll do that and I will be back to show you guys what next. So after sewing it, this is what I have, okay? So for the neckline, we are going to be joining a band, and the band is 1.5 inches that is cut on fold, okay? So you'll be joining the band on the right side of the neckline, okay? So you'll be joining the band. After joining the band, you are going to put in your zipper, okay? So after putting in the zipper, I will fix the sleeve. I believe that you guys already know how to do all this, except you are a total beginner, okay? So guys, after doing all that, I will put it on to show you guys the final outcome.